Well, hope you guys are liking the new camera. Well, it's not the new camera. It's actually a new lens. But I used this camera in the beginning. If you guys go way back when I started with Milton, I used my Sony camera to get all those nice shots. Morning, guys. Good morning. How's it going? You know, I always forget to put those every time I get them initially. Those are the 90-day inspections. 90-day inspections. We've been up for a while. We're gonna set up the lights and we're gonna get ready to leave here in about 15 minutes or so. But yeah, we'll see what happens today. It's a long day of driving. Just a driving day. Haven't done this long trips in a while, so that's kind of the one thing that I do like, but also don't like. And we'll probably talk a little bit about that today. But difference between picking up and delivering every day, you know, every other day or every day, than to do long hauls like this. So, but anyway, we're gonna slap the lights back here. Don't look at the mess back here, man. Oh, she turned off. Truck has that 5-minute turn off. It's annoying, but between 60 and 90 degrees, it keeps turning off. We'll turn it back on. Good. This one is way stronger. Let's put him in the back. Those are on. Those are way stronger magnet than that little one up front. That's the first one I got. The little one up front, yellow one's the first one I got when I was with Milton. It's the only one I had, and then I got these when I got with TSH. Those are way stronger. I do want to get another replacement. Let's get in this truck and thought I saw something. Real good. Let's get in this truck. Well, hope you guys are liking the new camera. Well, it's not the new camera. It's actually a new lens. But I used this camera in the beginning. If you guys go way back when I started with Milton, I used my Sony camera to get all those nice shots. It has that cool effects in the background. When in photography, we call it the bokeh, but I know you guys don't give a crap about that at all. So it's all right. But we're gonna get ready to get going here in a minute. So give you guys some road footage. I do need to clean this windshield real quick before I go. So I'm gonna do that, and then we'll get going and hit the road, and we'll chat through the way. Yep, let's do that. All right, guys, what's going? How's it going? How's it going? Yeah, I figure I'd give you guys a little point of view this morning. We can chat while on the road, because all what we're doing today is driving. Everything goes well, fingers crossed, knock on wood and all the things. Take it easy and safely. But yeah, all we're doing is driving. I don't know if you can see GPS there, but we got 587 miles left for the day. With it's been a little bit, it's been about an hour since we took off from the truck stop there, that Lowe's that I stayed in Matthews, Missouri last night. That's where we stayed last night. And hopefully by the time you see this video, you've seen that first video of this rolling. Seems like I'm figuring things out for you guys, making it short, sweet, direct, quick edits for you. But yeah, guys, we're rolling. I appreciate appreciate the support. If it's the first time to the channel or you haven't subscribed yet, consider subscribing. It definitely helps. You guys know the thing. Hit that like button if you like the content. 2023 content, I surely appreciate it. But yeah, we're rolling. First time hauling this oversized over length. One thing, like I said earlier in the first other video, I had to extend the I didn't have to, as far as moving the fifth wheel all the way back. I do have the advantage to be able to do that. The confirmation sheet when I got it, it said it was going to be about 41,000 pounds, but it's actually just under 38,000 pounds. So it's a pretty light load. It's only pipe. It's also very low, which is great. I get aggravated a little bit when I got there. Nothing wrong with the guys, but the confirmation sheet said that we needed to have the pipe stakes, and they needed to be padded with some type of carpet or padding on it. And like I only have, or had, well, still have, just like one moving blanket, right? So I'm thinking, well, I'm gonna get moving blankets and pad them. And honestly, over the weekend, it was kind of raining back and forth in Knoxville at home, and the good day, honestly, I was not 100%, didn't feel like messing with it. I said, well, I'll mess with it, when I get there Monday, and I'll go to the store to get something. Well, Sunday came and went, and it was till like the evening when I kind of put in my stuff in the late afternoon, early evening, putting my stuff together, make sure I got everything squared away, the GoPro camera and all that kind of stuff, my clothes washed. And I remember, oh crap, I needed to go to the freaking, Harbor Freight or whatever and buy some more moving blankets to pad. So it was late already. Sunday stores closed early. It's one thing in Knoxville, guys, if you don't live there, I don't know about the rest of Tennessee, but at least in Knoxville, everything closes. They open late, even on the weekend. A lot of stores, major stores that you think will be open at least by 9 in the morning, no, they don't open till 10. And then, a lot of places close it between 10 and 11. So, the change of COVID and all that crap really screwed with that. I remember when Walmart used to be 24/7. You should be able to go 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't know if you have a Walmart in your area, you can still do that, but not in Knoxville. I haven't been in a 24-hour Walmart in a long time, but if you have one in your town, let me know in the comments below what town, part of this, city and state you live in. You don't got to give me your address, but definitely don't have that. But anyway, it was late, and I had to get to bed. So I said, well, I'll go in the morning. I wasn't in a rush, kind of head down, you know, deadhead to Birmingham. It's about a 4-hour deadhead from Knoxville to Birmingham, and I've done it plenty of times. You guys have been watching the channel for a while. I've done that plenty of times, so not a big deal for me because I'm used to it. I do like to, you know, the load to be worth it if I'm on a deadhead to pick up, but sometimes you got no choice to start the week, especially if I'm empty. I gotta get something. So no matter which direction in Knoxville, it's an advantage, but it's also, you know, something I gotta keep in mind every time where I deadhead. Well, I have to deadhead to start my week if I'm empty for the weekend. But anyway, deadheaded to Birmingham that morning, but I figure, well, I'll go to Walmart. Walmart open at 6. You know, Lowe's open hour at 6, so I'll just hit the places in the morning. Then hit the truck wash. Long story short, you know, I knew it was gonna put me an hour later than I planned, but you know, I go from Eastern time zone to Central time zone, so I still gain an hour. So I'll be there around 10, 10:30. I could have been there around 9, 9:30, got it loaded and going, but no, you know, so well, not too bad. Because I also washed the truck for the first time. I don't know if I mentioned that, but if you saw it on my Instagram, I washed the truck for the first time since the beginning of the year. Because it was nasty. And most, just before y'all get on a rant, like, oh, you don't take care of your equipment. No, not that. I mean, beginning of the year, it was been raining a lot. So every time I thought, well, it's good weather, I'm gonna wash it, I went through a rainstorm. It was like, well, that took the dust off of it. And you guys know why, if you own your own truck and you run, unless you have a show truck, you know, and you're not really going through a lot of dirt roads or construction sites and things like that, or deliveries that are in dirt or mud, like we do a lot in Flatbed, there's no point of washing your truck every week, you know, unless you're making bank. And right now, we're not making bank, so we're not spending that money unless absolutely necessary for cosmetic reasons, or, you know, just because it's, you know, yeah, look bad. Does it aggravate me? Yeah, for sure. But anyway, if you're one of those that washes the truck every week and you have something to say, put it down below. Love to read it. Why do you? Now, if you're a company driver and your company pays for it, you know, like Melton does, I think it's every 3 weeks, I remember properly. You know, they wash the trucks, and during bad season, you can do it twice a month, I think. But usually every 3 weeks you can wash the truck unless it's an emergency. But also, you know, you can go and rinse them out at their terminals if you run by them very often. But you know, when you're paying for it and you're paying $80 to $100 a pop on a blue beacon, you know, or street beacon like everybody calls it, you know, they do a decent job, but not always they don't do a great job. So yeah, you're not gonna spend that money every couple of weeks just for the hell of it, you know, for whatever everybody else. So I didn't, but we washed the truck. I'm blabbing on that. That's my rant. We washed the truck, and then we headed over towards Birmingham, and we did. Well, the point, what aggravated about, which is what I was trying to say, give you all that backstory, is because when I got there, if you guys saw it on the video, actually no, because, excuse me, I realized that I did not put that footage. Maybe I try to pull it out and show you on this one. But when I pulled in, I didn't pull the footage out of my dash cam, but when I pulled in, I saw the other TSA truck that was, you know, putting his signs and finishing strapping at the time, and I noticed he had no pipe sticks. And I spent an hour in the morning. I didn't get moving blankets. I ended up, because Walmart didn't have any, I went to Lowe's down the street and they had some, but they were like $23 a pop for the large good ones. But I don't need to spend $23 a pop. You know, if I had a chance to go to Harbor Freight, they would have been cheaper, and that works, and I could have a few of them, and I still, you know, would have kept them because I needed to get some anyway. But Harbor Freight didn't open till 8, and I didn't want to wait till 8, so then I was going to be another hour lost. So I said, no, I need to get rolling, you know, no more than by 7 instead of 6. Because again, I wanted to get the truck washed and then go, and I gave that an hour just in case. But of course, get my coffee like I do every morning. But anyway, I went to Lowe's, and after walking around and looking for different ideas, I got this cheap $8 carpet pieces, like the ones you walk on in front, go in the house, whatever. So I got 4 of those, and I got a knife, and I got some Gorilla Tape. I figure I'll cut them, wrap it, put some tape around it, you know, and cut those, and 4 of them should wrap all 4 stakes. Well, I get there, and I see this other truck, TSH truck, and there's no pipe sticks. I see the straps, and there's no pipe sticks. So I finally go, you know, go around the yard, park around next, you know, behind this guy to get loaded. I asked the guy that's loading me, I was like, I'm getting the same thing he's getting. He's like, yeah, you're getting exactly the same thing. I'm like, I see no pipe sticks on things load. It's like, yeah, we're only, you know, we used to ask them all the time, and guys don't have them, and when we don't require them, bring them. So, you know, it's just something that's like, well, that's aggravating, because I just wasted a time, a whole hour this, you know, yesterday morning, going to the store and shit, worrying about this, and spending money that I really didn't want to spend on something that they didn't need it. Can I use the carpet? Yeah, I'll use the carpet pieces for freaking padding. That's not the problem. Like, I'll still use them for padding. It's good to have for steel loads. I gotta get tarp and protect the tarps, because like I said, I lost one of my blankets somewhere, and I got some little extra padding and some extra tarp pieces that I got from a shipper, you know, that does the job 90% of the time, but sometimes there's spots that I don't have enough, and I gotta invent something. But so having them, I'll use them, fine. But it was still aggravating that I had to spend an hour of my morning worrying about, I had to have this before I get there, because then if I didn't have it, went there and they required it, then I was gonna have to leave again to go to the store to go get it. You know, maybe I could have got away with dropping the trailer and, you know, PCing to a store or whatever, figuring out, but it still would have been a waste of time, wasted fuel on the truck, and aggravation. So, you know, I understand, I'm glad I got them just in case, but it was aggravating that it was not required to have, and I wasted an hour. So luckily it wasn't like affecting my time or anything like that to get this load delivered, because let's say the load is scheduled pick up Friday, deliver, the pick up Monday, deliver Friday. We picked it up Monday, and we're actually going to deliver on Thursday, because I have, you know, I don't have, it's not a wide load like you guys can see, you know, you guys saw, it's not a wide load, so it's just a long overlength, and in the back we have about 7 feet in the back. I'm gonna measure it out today. When we stop for a 30-minute break, I'm gonna pull my ruler and kind of measure out how actually far, so you guys can see it with me. But because I pushed the 5th wheel all the way to the back, locked it in, which was fun. I had that. The guy was like, well, you know, not everybody has that benefit. The guy in front of me didn't do that. He actually had his 5th wheel set up almost all the way forward, which I found kind of odd that he was running that way. I mean, I understand that for most of our loads it really doesn't matter, but it does put more weight towards your drives and, you know, your steers when you're riding all the way to the front. And at least for the loads that I've gotten, you know, there are times, especially like a few times I've done some lumber loads, steel loads, having the 5th wheel right in the middle, which is where I'm, you know, keep it normally in the middle of the my drives, between my drives, that's kind of where I keep it. You know, it puts my drive weight close to, you know, on a heavy 46,000-pound load, you know, it puts my drive close to almost, you know, 33, almost 34. So if you had it all the way forward, yeah, you're actually having, I'm assuming you would have to be moving it back and forth all the time per load if you're just, for whatever reason, rather have it forward than on the way back. I don't. So I don't like to be moving it a lot. I barely move that thing, so let me correct myself. Let me even say I never really move it. I've only moved it when required. But in this particular load being long, I did not want to have as much pipe hanging in the back, you know, as I could. So the minimum that I could have in the front. So I had them put it, like I said, in the middle of the catwalk. Told them, you know, took 2 little ridges pieces on the catwalk. So let's do it there. Because I've also, like I said, I've never had a long one, so I don't know how much closer I could have gotten to the header rack without, you know, and be able to safely turn without having any damages or anything to it. So I think I chose the right spot. You guys can tell me below, those that do a lot of longer oversized load, the long loads like these. You probably, I'm sure there's some of you that have done it more than I have. This is my first one. So you can put it below how you measure that. Where do you put it in the front? But I mean, I put stuff over the front a little bit, but not that much forward. So but we'll measure out when we stop. Measure how many feet we got in the front and how many feet we got in the back. But the pipes are 60 feet long. Permits are for about 83. And one thing also that I learned by reading your permits and talking to my permit lady in Tennessee, which is awesome. Sorry. Miss Brittany. Shout out to Miss Brittany. But speaking of Brittany, and you know, she's great with permits. She told me, you know, kind of explained that long loads are kind of tricky between state to state. It's kind of different. It's different in wide oversized loads. If you're legal as far as width, but it's just long loads. There's a lot of states, like out of the I only had permits for, we picked up in Alabama and we're going to Wyoming. So I only had to have permits for Missouri, Iowa, and Tennessee. But as far Missouri is the only one, and Tennessee, of course, even though we didn't run through any scales in Tennessee, they're actually closed. I was exempt in Alabama, Arkansas, and Wyoming, I think. I don't know if we go through, no, we don't go through Nebraska. Yeah, we do. Iowa, yeah, we do. So we're taking 80, 22, 80. You know, I'm exempt in the beginning and exempt towards the end. So only the 3 states in the middle are required to have permits for the length, just permitted for the length. But I'm not limited as far as, you know, hey, you got to run 55 miles an hour or none of this stuff. None of the states for long loads, I can do a speed limit. So if you're wondering why I'm doing the speed limit and thinking, oh, you're an oversized, you're going too fast, for those that want to talk crap, you know, put in the comments, let me just clear you up. No, I'm not required to drive any slower because it's not an oversized width load. We're rolling through around St. Louis on 64. We just got on 64 about a few minutes ago. We've been rolling for 2 hours, about 2 hours, I believe. Let's see, 10:30. Yeah, about 2 hours, a little over 2 hours. Been rolling already. This is the area section, a little ways back, but it's part of the area that's restricted for oversized. Around St. Louis. Before you hit St. Louis, mile marker 174, all the way till you get out of St. Louis on 70, where oversized is restricted to after rush hour in the morning and in the afternoon. So that's why we took off a little later this morning, which is all right, because all we're doing is driving today and tomorrow. So we'll drive around 10 hours each day, my plan is to get about at least 670 miles each day, and even 650 would be all right if it had to for logistical reasons. But that's kind of my goal for the next 2 days, so we can make it to Evanston, Wyoming, which they gave us coordinates actually, and when I looked at the coordinates, it's in the middle of nowhere mountain, north of 80, north of Evanston actually. It's part of the county, but it's in the middle of nowhere. So we'll have to I'm gonna call the guy here in a little bit and kind of touch bases with the contact person
about, you know, best time to give them a call and directions, because we'll be closed tomorrow. We'll definitely be closed tomorrow, but I don't know truck stop safety parking spot tomorrow afternoon and how close we're gonna be able to get. But even if, you know, if we do 670, 670, it'll put me within 200 miles, less than 200 miles from the place. So we should be pretty close, and do the rest Thursday morning and deliver Thursday, and then we're gonna deadhead to our next pickup, which I'll tell you guys that in the next, you know, following video probably, whether it's towards the end or not, but that's be for the weekend. But yeah, we do got a reload already. Something I was worried about is getting a reload back, so everything has to go, you know, with that said, everything has to go pretty, you know, good as planned, so I can get my reload Friday morning. It's pipe coming back, and I'll tell you about that load later, but everything has to go as planned on this trip to get unloaded Thursday in order for that to happen. So fingers crossed, that's the idea. I was looking at my trucker path on the next scale right here once I get on 70, because we have permits for Missouri and Iowa, meaning that we have to stop at the scale house. They're electronic permits, so I didn't have to print them, and I verified that with my safety girl, TSH, a couple times, so I didn't have to print them. A lot of stuff is being done electronically, but you still got to stop and go in. Now, sometimes they wave you off. The last few times that I've done, you know, they just wave you off. Yeah, we got you. Like, even coming in the door, like, you're good, man, and until you go, because they already got the permits and see them when you pass through the scale. They don't need you to go in. But you know, I do my due diligence and go in unless they tell me through a speaker or a window, like, you're good to go, don't have to come in, type thing. So just read your permits, man. I can't emphasize that enough, man. Read your permits. I like to read my permits before I get loaded, or, you know, before I leave the shipper. I'm reading permits at the minimum before I leave, and double checking routes, double checking any particular restrictions or requirements, and making sure that you can't just oversized load, dude. You can't just follow GPS in general all the time. Like, you have to double check yourself and at least make yourself aware of stuff. But when you're doing oversized, yeah, you can't follow. Yeah, dumbass, you should have realized that. You should have realized that the lane was ending and he needed to move over a while back. Not expecting me to move over for him to move over. But yeah, read your permits, man. Just read your permits. You save yourself any chances at all to get in trouble, and you don't want to get in trouble with DOT with anything, let alone an oversized load in the wrong place, wrong city, wrong street, because you didn't read your permits and you just followed GPS like it was a normal load. So, but we done that. Took off. Trucker Pass says the scale has been closed on 70, which would be great because that gives us more time to keep going for the next one. But we'll see. It's about 15 miles out. So we're gonna roll out, and I'll bring you guys back on when I'm getting closer to the scale and see if we get pulled in. All right, so we got the scale house here. Trucker Pass says it's closed, but we'll see. Under 2 miles, like I said, even if it was open, even if you get your pre-pass, you have to go in. So, like, it gave me the pre-pass. Now the pre-pass green light could be because it is closed, but there's no signs yet that I can tell for another mile here. Another little tip for rookies, in case you didn't know, scale houses, they have those sensors set at least 2 to 4 miles, sometimes even more, a little bit more, before you even get to the scale house. So if you're one of those that try to go around the scale house and, you know, take the exit right before the scale house, 9 times out of 10, I see a red sign, so it's right, it's closed. This one's usually closed. Every time I've been through here, I want to say I've seen it close most of the time. So it's closed. We don't have to stop. We can keep it going. All right, next way station. Looks like it's closed. We're about 35 miles from 435 here in Kansas City. And sorry for the blurriness, but my hands got in the GoPro. But yeah, it's closed. So another scale that we don't have to stop. Alright guys, we're about to stop here, but first we gotta see if this scales is open or not. 1.5 miles, and then it's a rest stop, and we'll stop and take a 30-minute break. Trucker Pass says it's closed. We'll see if it's true right here or not.
When the motorcycles go by, keep your eyes on the road.
What is this guy doing right here? Right before the scale. Pre-pass guy. That was a pre-pass guy. Looks like it's closed. I see a red sign. So far, no scales. Yeah, it is closed. It is closed. Another closed scale. Still haven't pulled anyone. Hopefully I got you straight up there, guys, but we just entered Nebraska. If you I can see the GPS there now, but it got about 6 miles to the next scale. The next two scales, that way station closed. There's a sign. Way station in 1.5 miles closed. So, yep, we skip another one. Man, I haven't seen those views in a long time. All right, guys. We're here at the truck stop, Bassamount travel stop. It's a huge truck stop. I never definitely not been here. It's a huge truck stop, and it's a pilot vendor, so you can still get your showers and stuff. Pilot points with Pilot Flying J, but it's a huge one. Now, lots of parking. So I doubt you won't find parking here at any time. We're parked for the night here, guys. We are 715 miles from the place. GPS says it will take me about 10 hours to get over there. So technically I can get all the way there tomorrow, but again, it's in the middle of nowhere. So we're not going all the way to the place. There's definitely no truck stop, no mom and pops in the middle of a mountain. So we're not gonna go all the way in there. We're going to stop at the closest truck stop that I can. If I find a mom and pops in Evanston right there, but I really think there's a Love's on that exit, or close. I really think there's a Love's right there. Maybe a Pilot, but I think there's a truck stop right in Evanston, because that's really kind of like the other side before you go into Salt Lake City, Utah. So I really think there is something over there. So that's probably where we want to stop for the night, and then Thursday morning we'll just get up when we need to and start heading over there to deliver, and then we'll get our next load. So I will do a video on unloading this, so we'll do that. But tomorrow we got another driving day. We may skip tomorrow video wise, probably skip that tomorrow. It's nothing major unless something happens or comes to mind, then we'll do tomorrow. We'll see. Otherwise, either way, we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Please hit the like button if you haven't hit it yet. Consider subscribing 2023 style, like my buddy. Got a friend that likes to do that, a vlogger that I follow.
But consider subscribing if you haven't subscribed yet. I surely appreciate it. Hit that like button, and we'll see you on the next one. We'll Friday out. Peace. See ya. All right. What was that? 7 feet, 8 feet. Yeah. Yeah, we're 8 feet in the back.